floating 250,000 miles from home. The Artemis 2 crew just broke the ultimate record, only to pause in the dark, to name a lunar crater after a lost loved one. For over 50 years, the moon was a memory of the past. But today, the silence ends. Humanity has returned to the lunar frontier. Artemis 2 just shattered the human distance record. They have ventured further into the abyss than any person in history, surpassing even the legendary Apollo crews. For pioneers are now looking at sights unseen for decades. Commander Reed Wiseman and his team are the eyes for 8 billion people. Back home, they witnessed a spectacular Earthrise, a blue marble suspended in the dark. It is a fragile reminder of everything we protect on our tiny, cosmic shore. For the first time in a generation, human eyes have gazed upon the far side. This hidden face of the moon is a jagged, ancient mystery. Then came the eclipse, not a brief moment like on Earth, but a total blackout lasting nearly an hour. As the moon swallowed the sun in the darkness, a ghostly glow appeared. Earthshine illuminated the craters below, proving that even in the shadow, our home planet still provides the light. Over 10,000 images were captured during this flyby. Every frame is a treasure, even with the scars of radiation visible on the camera's digital sensors. They hovered over the Oriental Basin, the moon's youngest impact scar. Its rings are perfectly preserved, a geological library of the moon's violent and ancient history. That one small step was a giant leap for all of us. Armstrong had crossed the final threshold, proving that the stars were finally within our reach. Two new names now live on the lunar surface. Crater Carol and Crater Integrity stand as symbols of the crew's personal journey and their spacecraft. Houston, I'm looking at Carol Crater now. It's a beautiful sight, a fitting tribute. She would have loved this. They scanned the Eris' darkest crater, the brightest spot on the moon. Its glow is so intense it can be seen from Earth with the naked eye. They crossed the Terminator line, where long shadows stretch across the mountains. The topography here is far more dramatic than any telescope could ever reveal. To capture the perfect shot, the crew turned Orion into a dark room. They used shrouds to block internal light, ensuring the moon's beauty remained perfectly crisp. Then came the silence as Arion moved behind the moon. All contact with Earth was lost. For 40 minutes, the crew was truly, completely alone. This planned blackout allowed for deep observation. In the absolute quiet, they gathered data that will define the future of human bases on the lunar poles. As they emerged, the signal returned. A wave of data surged back to Houston, carrying the highest resolution images ever taken of our closest celestial neighbor. 10,000 photos were just the beginning. The treasure trove of data on board Orion is so vast, it will take years to fully analyze. That one small step was a giant leap for all of us. Armstrong had crossed the final threshold, proving that the stars were finally within our reach. Wow, Christina, look at this South Pole image. Incredible detail, it's stunning. Hey, let's grab a selfie for everyone back home. Great idea, smile. Perfect, they'll love this. Even the tools were different this time. Using tablets and smartphones, the crew captured candid moments. That makes space feel closer to home than ever. They zoomed in on the South Pole. Basin, this is the oldest and largest impact site, a window into the earliest days of our solar system. With the flyby complete, Orion fired its engines. The mission was no longer about looking back. It was about the dangerous journey to return home safely. They looked at a crescent Earth, a perspective few humans have ever seen. It appeared as a glowing sliver of blue in a sea of absolute black. The Deep Space Network worked overtime. While bandwidth was limited, the most critical data for the crew's health and safety was prioritized over the photos. They left the moon behind, but they took its secrets with them. This mission has laid the foundation for the first permanent human base on another world. This food's not bad for space rations. Agreed, and the nap systems look good. Great, because I'm starving. We'll be the pathfinders for Artemis 3 to the moon. We are no longer just visiting. We are building a bridge to the stars. Every photo and every sensor reading brings us closer to a lunar city. That one small step was a giant leap for all of us. Armstrong had crossed the final threshold, proving that the stars were finally within our reach. Deep in the void, the Ariane spacecraft performed a slow barbecue roll. This constant rotation ensures that the sun's heat doesn't warp the ship's delicate hull. A mid-course correction burn was required. Precision is everything when you are traveling at thousands of miles per hour through the vast, empty cosmic ocean. Life support systems are being tested to their absolute limits. Ox mission May is the final out of essence. Humans to live on them forever. Ox and I need to stabilizing. Gravity is pulling them home now. The Earth is no longer a tiny marble. It is a world filled with billions of people waiting for their return. The moon is now a memory in the rear-view mirror, but the lessons learned during those hours of flyby will change the course of human history. Separation is complete. The crew is now in the heat shield-protected capsule alone. The final, most dangerous part of the mission is about to begin. They hit the atmosphere at 25,000 miles per hour. The air itself turns into plasma, a wall of fire hotter than the surface of the sun. 4-5 minutes communication is lost. The intense heat blocks all radio signals. The world holds its breath as the capsule becomes a falling star. They are falling through the sky like a bolt of lightning. The heat shield is doing its job, shedding thousands of degrees of lethal cosmic heat. That one small step was a giant leap for all of us. Armstrong had crossed the final threshold, proving that the stars were finally within our reach. The drogue chutes have deployed. The chaos of re-entry is over, and the capsule is now a stable falling object, descending toward the deep blue sea. The main chutes are open. The heavy capsule slows to a gentle drift. Below, the recovery ships are moving into position for the historic pickup. Splashdown, the Artemis 2 crew is back on Earth. They have successfully completed the most ambitious human spaceflight mission in over half a century. High-tech airbags inflate to keep the ship upright. This is a crucial safety feature that ensures the crew can wait for rescue in comfort. Recovery divers are in the water. They work with precision to secure the capsule. The 4 astronauts inside are finally breathing the air of their home world. The hatch is open for the first time in 10 days. The crew feels the warmth of the sun and the salt of the sea air. They are being lifted onto the recovery ship. A global audience of millions is watching, celebrating the return of the 4 bravest people on Earth. They left as astronauts, but they return as legends. They have proven that the Artemis program is ready for the ultimate goal, the lunar landing. This wasn't just a mission for one nation. It was a mission for all of humanity. We are going back to the moon together. That one small step was a giant leap for all of us. Armstrong had crossed the final threshold, proving that the stars were finally within our reach. The data brought back by Artemis 2 will inspire a new generation. Thousands of young minds are now looking at the moon as a future home. The next step is already in motion. The Gateway Station will soon orbit the moon, serving as a permanent harbor for travelers heading to the surface. Next comes Artemis 3 for the first time since 1972. Human boots will press into the lunar soil. We are not just visiting, we are staying. They will see things that change how they understand our planet. They will realize how lucky we are to live on this rock. We have picked up the thread that was dropped over 50 years ago. The spirit of exploration is more alive today than it has ever been before. One day move its stone star is to the dawn. We are no longer afraid of the abyss. We have turned the moon from a distant light into a close neighbor. Our journey has only just begun. We name the craters after the things we value: integrity, love, courage. These are the tools we carry with us as we head into the deep. Thanks for joining us on this historic journey. The future is bright, and the moon is just the first stop on our way to Mars. That one small step was a giant leap for all of us. Armstrong had crossed the final threshold, proving that the stars were finally within our reach.
Thanks for watching. For more amazing space facts, subscribe to Planet Facts and don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated.